Your life will never change if you're always living in the past or you're always waiting for the future. I want you to save this video right now and go back and watch this every single time you feel unmotivated or you feel like you are living in doubt, in fear, in anxiety, in stress, in depression. Because in this video, I am literally going to break down how the majority of us are actually living in the past or in the future. And that is why in the present moment, we are feeling so discouraged. We are feeling so lost. We are feeling like we are so freaking behind when in reality, we are just tricking our minds to believing that to be our reality. Now, I actually want to start with a story because it wasn't too long ago where I constantly felt this feeling. I constantly felt like my life was falling apart. I constantly felt like I was in like fight or flight mode. I constantly was just like freezing. Like I couldn't actually take action. I couldn't take movement to actually change my life. And I remember this was back when I was in college, university. I was like 20, 21 years old. And I remember that is when I actually first got quote unquote diagnosed with anxiety. I remember I started to get like heart palpitations and I actually thought I was having like a heart attack. So I was like, okay, I feel like I need to go to my doctor because this just does not feel right. I go to my doctor. She does like all of these tests on me. It comes back and she's like, okay, you have anxiety. And back then I'm like, what the hell is anxiety? And she's like, oh, it's like typical, around this time frame for people like at your age, you're in college, you're probably stressing, worrying about the future. Here, just take this pill. It's just going to help you calm down. Long story short, I took the pill and it made me feel like shit. Every single day I felt like I just wasn't myself. It actually ended up giving me more anxiety because I actually reached like the threshold of that pill. So she gave me an even stronger pill and it just didn't really allow me to feel like I was, first of all, in the present moment, but I always felt like something was wrong inside of my life. And that's when I really embarked on the journey of personal development and learning more about our brain and psychology to really revert my anxiety and come to a point where I'm actually in control of my life. Because the first thing I really want to say is the reason why you're feeling discouraged, it has nothing to do with you as an individual. It has nothing to do, like, you're not flawed, like, God didn't choose you to just have a bad life. The reason why you're feeling this way is because you're choosing to view your life in a very negative way, in a way where it is going to make you feel like you're out of control. So when I started to read these books about mindset, about reframing, about basically taking your power back, one thing that I learned that really helped me always get out of my mindset and my state is our human brain and our body, it is not primed to be living in the past or primed to be living in the future. Our mind and body, we are literally built to be living in the present moment. Now, back then when I was diagnosed with anxiety, I was fearing a lot about the future and I was dwelling on the past. I was, getting over a really toxic 4-year relationship in high school. I was worried about what I want to do with my future. So I started to live in the past and in the future, but I wasn't actually living in the present moment. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, Sabah, like, I want to work on my goals. I want to change my life. So how can I be motivated in the present moment while still thinking about my future? But it's still sometimes scary because in the past I tried to change my life, but it didn't actually work. I want you to realize if you ever take action from a past traumatic experience, you're always going to be reliving that in the future moment. So the goal is no longer about how you can become a completely different person or just change your life overnight. The goal and the only goal that you are working towards every single day to feel good, to feel motivated, to feel happy, to feel fulfilled, to be joyful is shifting your perspective in the present moment and actually bringing so much gratitude to where you're at right now. Because regardless of what is happening in your life, you get to choose to look at it from a sense of, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I still have a roof on my head. I'm so grateful that I still have food on the fridge. I'm so grateful that I can still walk. I'm so grateful I can still breathe. You can choose to think that. Or you can choose to think, oh my gosh, like he did me so wrong and now, he tore my entire self-confidence apart, or I'm so mad that I am in this job. I would much rather just start my own business. Like, why is it so hard for me to start my own business? It's like you are looking at it from a place of negativity and you're looking at it from a place of resentment. And back then, I mean, I can literally talk about this for hours and hours and hours, but there was so much that I was resentful for in my life, things that were out of my control, things that already happened. And one day I realized, Sabah, you can either continue your life being resentful, being angry, being anxious, being stressed, or you can choose to feel happy just for the fact that you want to feel better. And for me in that moment, I'm like, well, life is actually pretty short. Why would I choose to be resentful when I can choose to be happy? And guess what happens? When we actually shift our energy and our mindset to look at abundance, to feel happy, our energetic frequency raises. And that's when our creativity, our hopefulness, our enjoyment, our passion, our power actually comes back and is much easier for us to lead ourselves to our goals, to our desires, to our destination. So right now, if you're feeling unmotivated, 99% of the time, it is because you're living in the past or you're living in the future and not in like an abundant way. Like you're living in the future of like, oh, I don't have it versus, oh my gosh, this is such an amazing future that I get to work towards every single day. But right now in this present moment, I'm so happy and so content with where I'm really at, because at the end of the day, something that I quickly also realized was every single time you get something in your life, you're always going to want something more. You're always going to want something bigger. You're always going to want something grander and greater. So if you're always unhappy based on where you're at right now, you're always going to feel the feelings of anxiety, of stress, of depression, of, oh my gosh, like I feel like I'm never enough. And for me, and let me just say, because I'm so transparent with you guys, that is something that I'm still working on, that I'm still working towards, because there will still be moments where I'm like, okay, am I doing enough? Like, is it all worth it? And then I remind myself, I'm like, wait a minute, like I have already done so much. I'm already so grateful for where I'm at. And that's the entire point about life. Like, it's not a destination, it's a journey. And if we are constantly comparing ourselves to either the old version of ourselves or the future version of ourselves or somebody else, we're never, ever going to feel happy. And the entire reason why I even started this channel was to help you bridge the gap between your current reality to your dream one, whether that's in business, in life, personal relationships. And this is honestly the key to anything that you want to create. When it comes to making money, it's like, you can either choose to be happy where you're at and just know that you're always going to be growing, scaling, progressing, taking action, or you can choose to be unhappy, resentful, and be like, oh my gosh, why is it so easy for everybody else and not for me? And then just feel bad about yourself. It's like, at the end of the day, self-pity is not something that's going to make you feel happy. So right now, like tough love, you are choosing to feel unmotivated. If you are genuinely lost and you don't have strategies and you don't have steps, that's why we have YouTube. That's why I create literally videos at least twice a week. That's why you can also go out in nature and take a break from your life. But let me tell you, a lot of the times when you're feeling unmotivated and when you're feeling lost, you're choosing to feel that way. You have a choice to not feel that way. You can be like, I am actually very motivated because I'm living today. And this is the only day that I get to experience January 3rd at 2:32 p.m. And when you approach life that way, every single day you're gonna want to make it memorable. Every single day you're gonna want to show up and be like, what can I do today that's gonna be so freaking unforgettable? That's why my entire brain is about building your unforgettable life, right? Because every single moment, like this is what really gets me, guys. It's like every single moment you can choose to change your perspective, to change your thoughts, to change your beliefs for the better. Like, think about it, guys. Why would you want to live every single day feeling like shit? And that's what really motivated me to change my life. And now I'm getting emotional because this is like real. It's really real. If you're feeling bad about where you're at, you actually get to choose to get yourself out of it. And it's literally just shifting your perspective. So right now, if you're watching this and you're unmotivated, or you're lost, or you feel anxious and stressed and depressed, first of all, take a look. Just look around. Look around as I'm talking to you. Look around and be like, I am so grateful for this fresh air that I get to breathe. I'm so grateful that I have this phone, or I have this laptop, or I have this iPad that I'm actually watching this video on. Like, if you're watching this video, you already have it all. You don't need anything else in your life. Everything else is extra. So when you can look at life from that perspective, everything becomes simpler. Everything becomes easy, because every single thing that you're working on is just extra in your life. The relationship, it's extra. The business is extra. The money, it's extra. The friends is extra. And for me, one of like my life's mission is, for me personally, to get to a state where everything feels so above what I ever dreamed and hoped for, because I'm actually living in the present moment. And any single time I feel anxiety, stress, overwhelm, it is because I'm living in the past or I'm living in the future. So for you, like, just know it's not even about motivation tactics. It's not about even like a step-by-step strategy. When you can actually get yourself back into the present moment, when you can actually live here, experience what it actually means to be so grateful for what you have, everything else is going to feel so much more simple, and everything else is going to feel so much easier. And that's why I really wanted to make this video, because I noticed that a lot of you guys really want support and want more of a conversation when it comes to like the mindset, being in the present, really priming yourself to honestly just fucking enjoy life. So I'm actually going to be coming out with more videos about like, you know, reprogramming your mind and your subconscious to really be in the present, how to alleviate like anxiety and stress and overwhelm, how to really just like get into your state of flow, because that has been the number one reason how and why I've been able to change my life financially, mentally, physically, in my relationships, spiritually, and everything. So I love you so much. I am so happy you're here. Once again, save this video. Go back and rewatch it anytime you feel unmotivated, anytime you feel like life is not going your way, because at the end of the day, you're already so blessed with the life that you do have. And all you need to do is shift your perspective back into the present moment. That's all for today. Go do something right now, right after this video, that's gonna bring so much joy to you. I don't care what it is. You can run outside, you can go buy yourself ice cream, you can create a video, you can go hug somebody. Just bring the joy back into your life, okay? So until next time, once again, I love you guys so much, and make sure that you stay unforgettable.